Well, hello there. My name is Susan Hamilton. You are watching OBBM Live Special DFW Local Business, and today I'm featuring Rockie Marvel. Hello, Rockie.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me.
So, Rockie
Excited
Marvel.
to be here.
Oh, my goodness. I love talking to you, and I love talking about real estate right now because this is an interesting time. And as we mentioned before we got started, it's so important for our consumer confidence to be strong in the marketplace. So this gives us an opportunity to really showcase how you're rising to the challenges of shelter in place, and let the community see what's going on with the Marvels, because you and your husband are some top producers with Keller Williams Realty.
Yes, yes, indeed. No, it is different. We have, I think the first few weeks were the most challenging just because it was so fresh and new and everybody was trying to adjust and figure out what this all meant. What does it look like? How are we going to move forward? So now that things have calmed down a little bit, we are, we're still, even at the beginning, we were still having appointments now by virtual, just like your Zooms, we were having a lot more buyer consultations via Zoom, seller appointments, and just answering questions, reaching out and asking people how we can help and everything. But, right now, inventory is still low, depending on the price points of homes. I mean, people are out there showing. We're getting multiple offers. We had a listing with multiple offers. We're out showing, using all our mask and gloves and wiping everything down. And, we just have to now follow some different protocols and be safe, when we're out there. If we don't have to be out, we don't, but we take a lot of precaution when we do. But we're seeing a lot of multiple offers, and closings are still happening. So, I hate to say it's business as usual, but it has slowed down, but there is still business going on. So we're fortunate right now to be able to do that. And everybody's adjusted. The title companies are working, making, from drive up closings to, mail outs. And I mean, so everybody has gotten really creative to help the consumers and make these things happen, because there are still people out there that have to sell and that have to buy. So.
That's interesting, and you are really. We talked about this early on. I remember, because you're a neighbor and a friend and an OBA member, and we've known each other for a long time. I have so much respect for you and Tim, and you have shown one of the things that I really love about your approach with everyone is you walk the walk with customer service. I just don't know of anybody else I've ever seen do such a strong approach. You're not, I'm going to send you a postcard because I sold a house in your neighborhood. That has never been your approach with us. You you pop over and you go to the trouble of making sure you bring little gifts over for the kids. You just pop in and say hi. You do all these little extra touches that make sure you're front and center of who we're thinking about. But it's not one time or two times. I've been here since 2006. And I'm not sure when I met you, but it was years ago. And you have made a regular routine. I'm part of your routine. I'm not the only one. I know how you're reaching out. So one of the things I just want to commend you on is the great job you do of letting people know, hey, I'm someone you can trust for information, and I'm going to stay in front of you so you don't forget that.
Well, I appreciate that. No, and we try to. I mean, we try to come from contribution in any way that we can help. Right before we got on the call, we had a client reach out and needed some comparables because he wanted to protest his taxes. So, we're still doing those kind of customer service calls, providing that information and just helping any way that we can.
Well, when we were talking earlier, I'm sorry, what?
No, and just helping, in the community as much as possible. There's a lot of need right now, so.
You were saying that you have to sell a little bit differently, that there's when you're going out to homes that there's some regulations in place now, and tell us a little bit about what it looks like. If I was thinking about this and I wanted to talk with somebody, what does it look like today to actually show a home?
Well, first of all, we set the expectations, with our buyer clients, and we find that they are very open and receptive to everything because, everybody is very safety conscious, right now. So we let them know that we're going to provide them with a mask if they don't have one. We have, and so surprisingly, there's a lot of people out there that already have their masks. They're either homemade or this particular client, she works at Baylor Hospital, so she has her masks, but the gloves, and we take our wipes with us, and we go in first, open up everything, wipe everything down, anything that we touch, try to open up closet doors, and the least amount of anything that the clients can touch, the better. So then we walk through the house at a safe distance, and it's just a little bit different. I'm a big hugger, and I like to shake hands and hug, and you can't do that with clients right now. So that's a big adjustment, but we're just doing things differently and just taking extra precautions. It's just practicing a lot of safety right now. Even for us, I mean, as realtors, having to check your temperature before you go out, asking the clients questions before you go out. Have they been traveling anywhere? Where have they been? Have they been sick? And so if there are any red flags, we just don't go out. So just a lot of extra precautions being taken.
Wow. That's so now it used to, you're still doing open houses?
No, not physically, not physically. There are a lot. I'm actually looking to do a first one, hopefully sometime this week or later this week, because really you don't have to do it on the weekends when it's virtual. You can do that at any time. So we're trying to come up with the strategy that we're going to use that's going to best help our clients, whether that's through a Zoom, if it's a FaceTime, if it's a live. There's just so many options out there. So we'll be doing more of those and then posting those online for people to connect. But these days we have professional photography, Matterport videos, 3D videos. I mean, there's just so many types of technology that we're going to implement in addition to what we're already doing to get the maximum exposure for the clients, because there are a lot of people that are not comfortable, still going to see homes, and they're just kind of waiting, and then everybody's different. So we approach each client take each individual basis, and then we'll work that way.
I know that's
going to be a lot of online virtual open houses is what's happening right now. So,
well, you get your weekends back. I know that you do spend a lot of weekends.
Well, somewhat though. It's funny. I've been busier now in a way than before, because it's just you're trying to reinvent different ways of doing things. So a lot of training, doing things, and how are we going to do that going forward, because it's not going to be, what's our new normal going to be? So we're trying to implement new programs and processes for that going forward for our clients.
That's really wise. And I know you're such a forward thinker anyway, but this is a different world, and if it can happen once, it can happen again, and we do need to know how to adapt and pivot. And I would agree that everyone that I talk to has had to learn how to interact with the marketplace differently and how to use the tools at hand. And that's really cool.
No, go ahead. No, but I was just going to say, even just from a standpoint of from working at home, there are so many people working at home and adjusting to that. We were fortunate that we already worked from home, but we weren't home this much, all the time. We were out showing and getting out and, and all that. But so for a lot of people, just getting that mindset, and keeping the same schedule that you did when you were, really working, getting up, doing your workout, your meditation, whatever it is, taking a shower, getting dressed, not being in your pajamas all day long, and, just acting as if you're still working, you're still on, and you're still, I think that's so important for mental and emotional, health, because that's huge right now, the mental, emotional, and physical right now. So
I couldn't agree more. We're having those types of conversations on a regular basis. Of course, here I've got 3 generations in our home, and so my grandkids, I gave up trying to dress up. Every once in a while, if I've got to do a call, that I might wear a nicer top, right? But other than that, for me, dressing up didn't do any good, because they're too little. They're still going to hug you with peanut butter on them, you know,
And,
and,
right.
and it's not like we're running to the cleaners all the time either. And we're already washing everything a million times.
I
So I
know.
just don't do it. I just smell like peanut butter a lot.
Right, right. No. Yeah, but we're excited. You know, it's going to be different, and we're just, you know, when this passes, I mean, and it will. It's just going to be a matter of time. I mean, I think, you know, we're all going to be in a great position. You know, the thing to remember that what's happening now wasn't what happened in 2008. You know, with the mortgage prices and everything. I mean, we're in such a better position and everything. That lasted 6 years. You know, this is going to be months. So you know, we'll be in a great position. It's just going to be a little bit different, and you know, but you know, we'll get through it. Also,
Yeah, no,
we're excited.
you're right about staying in that routine. And for myself, I'm the same way. I get up at the same time. I have the same routine.
Mhm.
I still get around. I still do what I need to do. I've had to adjust a little bit for all the family in the home and when it's wise to, you know, so you'll notice now I'm pretty regimented about when this is when I'm going to do this type of work. This is when I'm going to do this type
Right.
of work.
Yeah.
That has to now, it can't be so much my client base driven. It has to be driven
Hmm.
according to what I can do well.
Oh,
So
exactly.
there's a little bit of difference there. So how are you and Tim doing working so closely all the time?
I know. Well, we were having that conversation earlier today. No, but we're doing pretty good. We're actually doing good. He works in his office. I'm in mine, and he's focused on the projects that he has. And you know, I'm doing what I'm doing, and you know, and it's been great because we're eating every meal, you know, together, or at least dinner now together every evening. So that's been great. Going for walks and um, but keeping those lines of communication open is just really important. We were always good at that, but now is when you get put to the test. Like, how good were you really? But no, we're doing good, and just being mindful to. And I loved your post that you and Randy did about a week ago, and just those little things that you have to remember, complimenting each other, or how can you help each other, and you know, because you're a team and you have to really work together now because you're very close, very close all the time. So, I mean, it can take a
Yeah.
toll on a lot of people, and it can. So, a lot of walks, you know, and sometimes separate, and so.
Well, one thing you and I both do in our community, in our neighbors, and we're not too far apart from each other. Our neighborhoods are not too far apart from each other, but we both share this in our when we know our neighbors. We're
Mhm.
regularly standing out front or talking or walking. You know most everybody in the community because we're
Yes,
active with it. And so
right.
that I think has been a challenge too. We have to, you know, if you see somebody out and about, it's not the same. A lot of the elderly people in the community don't want you to check on them, which makes us a little
Mhm.
nervous. You want to check on people. Do you have what you need? And there's a lot of fear for them. They
Mhm.
wait a minute. They don't want to, don't go check on them.
Right.
That concerns me a little bit, but we're having to just change our roles around here, right?
Mhm.
You see your friends outside. You can't, it's not just running out and, hey, how are you doing? Or hanging out. Now you're talking across the street,
Right.
right? And it's kind of so it's a little bit different. It's very short. You know, you're not outside long or hanging
Mhm.
out. And there's that. I agree. We have to, with Randy and I, having to remember to say something nice to each other because you get busy, you get into your thing with your people, and so your brain's
Right.
here, and you're used to working independently with your brain over here, and his brain's over here, and pretty soon we got to go. Hey, wait, we're not interrupting each other. We're partners.
Right. Absolutely. No, it's been very important, and I'm not used to cooking every single night. So I was like, wouldn't it be great if we all alternated? You know, my mother-in-law lives with us, so it was like Nancy could cook one night, Tim, you could cook one night, and that was quickly taken off the table. But you know, but it was an idea.
That's
But just trying to find different things to do and different ways to do things. You know, lots of game nights lately and stuff. So dominoes and cards, and but it's been fun. It's been good.
What we've adopted here with the kids is flashlight tag. So we turn all the lights out and
Oh,
we
cool.
run,
That's awesome.
yeah, and so we hide on each other like for hours, and it's just hilarious. That's so we yeah, all the crazy things that you do to entertain everybody, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because I think in the long run, Rocky, what's really clear with you and Tim is that, you know, your smile's authentic. You're out there meeting people because you care about them and you want, do you really want to do a good job from them? And you wouldn't, even have that ability. I think people that are not staying active in those types of things, games, fun, and finding a way to inject that fun into their life, it can't be as easy. It just can't be. I can't imagine how you would reach into this community and love them the way they need to when you have a problem relating to them. So I would definitely say
Mhm.
you're on the right track with that as usual.
Well,
Spend
thank
that
you.
time of
So
enjoyment
are
so it
you.
can pour out of you, right?
Absolutely. No, it's been it's all good. It's all good. Like I said, just adjustments, but we're excited about the opportunities ahead. And for you, for everybody. I mean, we did our networking, our online a Zoom for our business networking that we do once a month, and you were on that call last month. And I mean, it was really great. I thought it went really well. Had our normal presenter and everything. So I'll send you a link if someone's interested in becoming one of our referral partners or being part of the monthly networking. We'd love
Oh,
to
it's
have.
so valuable. It's so valuable. I got business out of that. I mean, it's important that you got everybody together and dealt with. It's the first one that I've done. As a matter of fact, the only second one I'll do is this afternoon. I'm on Zoom with pretty much back to back all day long, whether it's coaching someone or doing an interview or working through a problem or working through a project. That's really the main thing these days, is just putting together the project pieces that it takes to do what we do remotely. And
Right.
so those are big challenges, but you did such a great job, and everybody got involved. And I was just you had a great turnout. How many people came to that?
Yeah, we had about I think it was 12 or 13. I mean, for being a Zoom, it was really, yeah, it was good.
And
It was
relatively smooth. I didn't see any computer problems, any
no,
glitches. It just was
no, everything
like we do this all the time.
seamless, and you had a whole hour left because you didn't have all that time driving to and from or anything. So it was great.
Now there's
It was
that was
actually very efficient, I thought. So,
So what about this next month? What are we doing in May? Are we going to just in case have a Zoom, or are we going to plan on meeting?
well, no, I think we're going to do a Zoom again. I think still going to be too soon, but we're going to be doing a real estate market update. So it'll be myself, the Marvel Home Team, and one of our preferred lenders, David Floyd, and we'll be talking about what's going on in the market with financing and different things that are happening in the real estate world. So should be fun. We'll be getting that invitation out soon.
And we will share it. I'm excited to do that. You can find the Marvel Networking information in the OBBM event calendar in the Offbeat Business app or at offbeatbusiness.com.
Thank
But
you.
definitely take advantage of the opportunities you get networking with these people, because the whole group, for some reason, probably because it's their character, they're just so great at reaching out and working with people that's the kind of people they attract. So when you go to these networking meetings, you're really shaking hands and getting to know each other. And they alternate the way they do it. Sometimes it's speed networking,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun. I happen to really, really enjoy that. And I love and sometimes you've got a featured speaker and a featured
Yeah.
presenter, and that's so valuable also. So
There's a
thank you for
great
all you
core
do.
of people. Yeah.
So how do they reach you, Rocky? What's the best way to reach you to learn about some of the virtual tours you're doing?
Absolutely. Well, and we're putting all that together, and I'll be having a tab on our website soon. So I'll send that, when that's ready. But in the meantime, they can call or text me at 214-801-0908 or just rockiemarvel@gmail.com. Or our
Fabulous.
website, we have a lot of resources that we're uploading to our website at marvelhometeam.com. So
marvelhometeam.com. When did that change? Because I remember it being rockymarvel.com. Is that the
well,
same?
that changed when Tim joined me. So
Okay.
or you can go to rockymarvel.com too. They both go to the same place. So
Oh, that's what I was wondering. If they went.
it makes it easy. Yeah, they're all directed to the same one. So
Awesome.
make it simple.
Well, you're going to totally enjoy working with Rocky. Until next time, friends, that is how your local community is rising to the challenges of shelter in place. Rocky Marvel with
Thank
Marvel
you so
Home
much.
Team.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having us. Have a great day. Bye.
much. Bye.